And what's trending tonight, a local Siskiyou County boy who was told not even 5 years ago that he would never be able to walk again left his mark on the world after he and his father climbed Mount Kilimanjaro this past weekend. Newswatch 12's Brett Taylor got the exclusive chance to talk with Abram Mannix, his father, and his mother today about what that moment was like as he reached the top and why it was so special. Brett?
Well, Caleb, you only need to take a look at some of these photos behind me about why climbing Mount Kilimanjaro for young Abraham was so special. This kid over the last couple of years has not had an easy journey, but his sheer will and determination all led him to achieving something that very few people get to do in their lifetime.
I didn't know if I could until we made it.
Climbing Mount Kilimanjaro might be one of the biggest milestones to accomplish for any avid hiker out there. But for 12-year-old Siskiyou County resident Abram Mannix, it meant a chance to prove that he can overcome anything.
It was definitely a joyous moment.
When Abram was just 7 years old, doctors diagnosed the young boy with a developing case of severe scoliosis after he was constantly waking up with extreme pain in his back. But for his mother, she knew something more was going on.
This is not normal.
Yeah.
There's more than just we have scoliosis all of a sudden going on here.
Shortly later, doctors discovered through an MRI that Abram's pain went much deeper in the form of a tumor that had become intertwined with Abram's spinal cord and that he needed immediate surgery. Abram's mother telling us that at first they feared the worst.
We thought we were not going to be bringing home a child at all. So that was definitely one of the hardest days.
11 hours later, doctors removed the tumor, leaving a literal hole in his spine.
It's a good 2-inch long hole inside of his spinal cord.
And also something more.
But his legs didn't move at all.
Abram couldn't feel anything from the chest down. The fear now becoming that their son would never walk again. But then, just a few days later, a miracle happened.
You are doing well.
You couldn't do that the other day, buddy.
I feel like this is it.
Abram's left leg began to move.
There was a lot of emotions with that. Like, what is this going to wind up being? How far is this going to take him?
Slowly but surely, Abram began rehabilitation to try and regain what was thought to be lost during the surgery. Then, only a few weeks later, he began to walk again.
He waved bye. Bye, hospital. We's out of here.
I was crying. It was a huge moment, and everyone was crying. Just seeing that and knowing that we were only like a week or two in, I think, to the physical therapy part. It's like, okay, like we're gonna get somewhere.
Now, 5 years later, Abram is leaving his mark on the world after climbing one of the tallest mountains in the world this past weekend.
What does that mean for you to be able to accomplish that and have a major milestone checked off on what could be a bucket list item, considering that doctors told you 5 years ago you'd never walk again?
It means a lot. They told me I'd never walk, much less climb anything that high.
His father telling me when they reached the top,
we actually walked together and touched the sign at the same time and hugged, and I told him I loved him.
And how proud he is of him for what he's accomplished.
Miracles happen. I'm not supposed to be able to walk, and I did something that a lot of people can't do, and it's supposed to be impossible, but I did it.
Reporting live in studio, I'm Brett Taylor, Newswatch 12.